What's up, YouTube? So we're going to try doing this type of stuff a little bit, I guess, for now. We'll see how well it works. Comment down below if you like when I drive and vlog at the same time, or drive and do little discussions and what have you. I'm going to try doing this. I think it'll save me some time, because I spend too much time in the car, and I can actually get some discussions done, which is nice. So today I wanted to do a discussion this lovely early morning on my way to work about 3 frequently asked questions by beginners when they just start out yo-yoing. So I guess we're just going to get right into it. So question number 1 that is always asked by beginners, at least on forums and what have you, is, what yo-yo should I buy? Now I want to differentiate this question from, should I get this yo-yo? That's a great question. But the question of what yo-yo should I buy, I'm a beginner, you're never really going to get a straight answer, unfortunately, with that type of question. It just sort of ends up kind of, everybody giving their opinion of what their favorite yo-yo is. And not that that's bad, and maybe those are things that, that's information you want to take and store away for, like, later. But you don't always get a straight answer. So, the way I'm going to answer it is, what yo-yo should you buy? You should buy whatever yo-yo looks cool enough to you and looks exciting enough to you that you're going to want to pick it up and play it a lot. Because that's really the only way you get any good, or even half decent at playing yo-yo, is by doing it a lot. So if you get a yo-yo because everybody's like, oh, this is a great beginner yo-yo, but you kind of don't like it that much, or you kind of think it looks boring or whatever, you're not going to play it that much. And if you don't play it that much, you're never really going to get any better. You're not going to learn tricks. And, it's just not going to be, a thing that catches on for you. So, my advice is going to be, whatever yo-yo looks the absolute coolest to you, and it's something like, oh man, I want to play with that because it looks awesome. That's the yo-yo you should get, because that's what's going to make you want to learn how to play. Now, for your first yo-yo, throwing and catching is probably, you'll get a, what should my first yo-yo be? Those are pretty good answers usually, because everybody kind of sticks to the same, like, beginner-friendly yo-yos. But once you're, like, ready to, if you're going to ask, what metal yo-yo should I get, or what unresponsive yo-yo should I get, just get whichever one appeals to you. We're actually pretty lucky in a time, we're in a time right now where pretty much every yo-yo is pretty good, and, you're not going to find many duds. So whatever yo-yo is the most appealing to you, comes in the most appealing splash, or the most appealing color, or you think the shape is the most interesting, that's the yo-yo you should get. So that was frequently asked question number 1. What yo-yo should you get? You should get whatever yo-yo appeals to you the most. They're all going to spin good, but whatever yo-yo is going to make you want to pick it up the most is going to be the best yo-yo for you to get. Period. End of answer. So, most frequently asked question number 2, maybe not most frequent, but frequently asked question number 2 is, sort of in a similar vein, what string should I get? So, this actually I do have a more specific answer for, especially if you're a beginner. Now, people that have been playing yo-yo a long time have preferences. There's, lots of different kinds of string. Some people like nylon string, some people like thick string, some people like really thick string, some people like thin string. But as a beginner, I would say probably the most important thing is going to be to find a string that's not going to tear up your hands. Particularly as a beginner, you haven't built up calluses or anything yet, so you're going to want a string that's going to allow you to play as much as you can without your hands getting ripped up and bloodied and just bad. So I have a couple of recommendations for that, actual specific recommendations. Now, if you're a beginner and you don't know, I think a good sort of standard string that's not very expensive, but it's also pretty soft and not going to tear up your hands, is Kitty Fat. For about 20 bucks, it comes in a package of 100. That's going to last you a really long time. And generally, I mean, I would say that's sort of the baseline of string for just about every yo-yo player. Nobody's going to tell you, oh man, I just can't stand playing. I can't play Kitty Fat. You know, are there strings that you're going to like better? Absolutely. So I really like, I really like zipline strings, clearly. I think zipline strings are great. Jeremy does colorways for me and stuff. And the other more boutique strings are going to be softer and they're going to last a little bit longer. But I think it's a good sort of starting ground is just getting some Kitty Fat. Now, Kitty Fat comes in 10 packs. It comes in 100 packs. A 10 pack's like $3 or $3.50 or something. So maybe that's where you want to start. But I do think that, you know, right off the bat, just get a 10 pack of Kitty Fat, maybe 100 if you really think you're really going to be into it. But just get a 10 pack of Kitty Fat and go from there. Pick whatever color, you know, looks cool with your yo-yo. I think, you know, neon yellow is always a popular one, and you know, neon green or white, all very good colorways for Kitty Fat. And you know, I would say just pick up some of that to start out with. You want to avoid the really cheap string though, because that's going to tear up your hands. So, you know, you can get an 80 pack off of Amazon for $5 or $6, and that stuff's garbage. It's too short, it's too thin, and it's going to rip your hands to shreds. So I would be leery about that. I would also sort of be leery about super thin strings, especially just starting out, because the super thin stuff is also going to be prone to sort of ripping your hands up a little bit. I would put Kitty Normal into this category. It's going to tear. I felt like I bought that first, and I felt like it tore up my hands a little bit. I really think that, you know, if you're going to go bulk string, and you're not going to, you know, go all out and get boutique string right off the bat, just get a 10 pack or so of Kitty Fat, and then once you kind of decide what you like about it and what you don't like about it, you can adjust from there. There's lots of other strings, and you know, both boutique strings, and you can move up or down in sizes in the bulk string as well. So that's what I got to say about that. What string should you get? Start with Kitty Fat and move from there. It's a good middle ground, and you know, it's not going to cost you much, and you can sort of adjust from there. So most frequently, actually, this is a question that I've seen a lot lately, and I've never had a problem with it, but apparently it's a thing that a lot of people experience, so I wanted to address it. Is often, you know, when you see, and this sort of ties back to question number one, a lot of times people will ask, oh, does the yo-yo come back sharp? And I was always puzzled by that question. Does the yo-yo come back sharp? Because a lot of times people were talking about yo-yos that really didn't even have sharp edges or anything like that. They were just sort of either V-shaped, but they were rounded off or whatever. And, you know, oh, you know, I worry about that edge coming back sharp, people would say. And, you know, a lot of yo-yos obviously come to an end and sort of have usually like a rounded over edge. And a lot of discussions I've seen, I'll take the Countach, for example. People say, oh, does the Countach comes back sharp for me? Or the, you know, Benchmark W or something like that. And really all I have to say about that is sort of two things. One, if they're coming back sharp, you're binding the yo-yo too early. Do another trick. Do a couple more tricks. If you're binding the yo-yo back and you're catching it like you're a pitcher catching like you're a catcher catching a fastball, you're binding it too soon, and you're gonna want to, you know, do another trick. Or if you weren't planning on doing a really long trick, maybe don't throw it like you're throwing a fastball. I think it's really important to sort of have a sort of sense of how much or how hard you want to throw your yo-yo, because when you bind it, you know, you don't want it to come back like a rocket. Especially if you're new, you're not going to be used to catching it like that. Watch some yo-yo freestyles. You never see professional yo-yo players catch a yo-yo like they're catching a fastball. Their yo-yo always just sort of slinks back to their hand kind of nice and easy, to the point to where it doesn't really matter what the shape of the yo-yo is. It's not going to come back sharp necessarily. Now, there are exceptions. Some yo-yos actually do have edges, and maybe if it binds up weird, or you get bound up in a tight mount or something, and it kicks back on you, that happens, and maybe there's a sharp edge that'll catch you. But usually the way people are asking is, it comes back sharp. And my thought really is to just not throw as hard. Or, if you're throwing hard, do more tricks. That's probably the best way to say it. Oh, but you got through your combo, do it again. If your yo-yo is still spinning hard, do your combo again. That's, the best way to fix that. And it really opens up the door to you for longer combos and, just whatever shape. Maybe you'll find that you really like the way a sharper, V-shaped yo-yo or whatever plays on the string, but it would have been a yo-yo that you would have avoided otherwise because, worried about it coming back sharp. Play it a little more. That's what you're doing. You're playing yo-yo. Play it more. It's fun. It's good. So that's my advice on that. And those are my 3 frequently asked yo-yo questions from new yo-yo players. Make sure you guys leave me a comment. What do you think? Are there other frequently asked questions or concerns maybe that you had as a beginner or that you've heard beginners? Leave them down in the comments for me. I'll try to do these every great now and then if they're popular, if you guys like them. But let me know down in the comments what you think about it. But anyway, guys, I am just about at work, so thank you so much for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe. I do videos every day, sometimes more than one. But yeah, make sure you guys like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Cheers to you. I don't have any coffee. I wish I did. And I'll see you next time.